All right, so it is the month of December, and you guys know what that means. It means that it is finally time to once again ratchet up the war on Christmas, okay? Every good leftist knows that one of the first purity tests that you have to pass in order to become a socialist, an anarchist, a communist, whatever it may be, you must first sign a pledge that you, one, despise Christmas, that you despise Christmas trees, cookies, spending time with your family, snow, and everything that is associated with that. And on top of that, most importantly, you must be willing to beat the ever-living shit out of Santa Claus on sight, okay? So those are just the basics of becoming a leftist in modern America. We all know this, okay? We've all gone through the entire process. Now, unfortunately, in roughly 2016, we had an absolute dominant pro-Christmas force that sort of stopped Operation Attack and Dethrone God in its tracks. And that man who stopped us was Donald J. Trump, okay? And this guy basically brought back pro-Christmas fervor with an unrelenting force that we have not seen in history. So I got an interview here for you guys with the great Santa Claus lover himself, Donald Trump, who went on Newsmax to do an interview with Mike Huckabee of all people, and basically he was just bragging over very dramatic music, how he single-handedly saved Santa Claus. Okay, so let's go ahead and listen to this interview and we will talk about it as we go through.
America had gone through a long period where people quit saying Merry Christmas. It was all happy holidays. You deliberately changed that and openly said, Merry Christmas, we're going to say it again.
Why was that important? Part of my campaign, Mike. You know, the country had started with this woke, I guess, a little bit before that.
Yeah.
And it was embarrassing for stores to say Merry Christmas. You'd see these big chains. They want your money, but they don't want to say Merry Christmas.
Yeah, because they're corporations and all they care about is profits, okay? Of course, they're going to appeal to the broadest audience, the broadest market that will buy their products. That's why they would probably be more inclined to say something more general like Happy Holidays instead of Christmas. But once again, Donald Trump showing his absolute mighty force by apparently pressuring corporations to go back to saying Merry Christmas. But
and they'd use reds and they'd use whites and snow, but they wouldn't say Christmas. And when I started campaigning, this was in 2015, when I started campaigning, I said, you're going to say Merry Christmas again. And now people are saying it. Of course, they're not saying a lot of other things like George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson. You know, those names are being obliterated because...
What? Weren't we just talking about Christmas? He was just talking about Christmas a second ago, wasn't he? And then he just sort of went off in this train of thought in his mind and got a little bit lost and brought up Thomas Jefferson and George Washington. What? What do you mean? George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, they're being canceled, what, for being slave owners? Okay, not really sure how that connects to Christmas at all in any ways, but apparently you can line those three up in a line and they are all directly one-to-one comparable. You got Thomas Jefferson, you got George Washington, and then you got, you know, Santa Claus himself, I guess, or Jesus Christ. And I guess he's trying to imply those are somehow correlated or something. Not really sure what he's talking about, but, you know, Trump kind of gets lost in his stream of consciousness sometimes.
Because of craziness. But they are saying Merry Christmas again. We got that. That was a big part of what I was doing. And I would say it all the time during that period, that we want them to say Merry Christmas. Don't shop at stores that don't say Merry Christmas. And
Cancel culture.
I'll tell you, we brought it back very quickly.
You really did. And I think a lot of people appreciated that it was a part of the American culture. It was a part of who we are. It wasn't to exclude anybody. It was just simply a celebration of what America does at Christmas.
And America and the world, but America loves Christmas.
Yeah.
And whether you're Muslim, whether you're Christian, whether you're Jewish, everyone loves Christmas. And they'd say Merry Christmas until these crazy people came along and they wanted to stop it along with everything else. So I was very proud of that, actually. I remember I used to say, we will say Merry Christmas again in front of these massive crowds of people.
Okay, so again, not really sure what he was just talking about there at the end. Apparently, before Trump came along, or before the SJW woke crowd came along, that you had Muslims and Jewish people and Buddhists and every other religion across the planet were aggressively saying Merry Christmas and celebrating Christmas, I guess. I wasn't really aware of that, but, you know, good for Trump, okay? So, listen, in the broader picture, okay, it's time to ratchet it up, okay? We got to get ready for round 2 on the war on Christmas, especially with somebody who is as strong as Donald Trump on an issue like this, okay? It's going to take every single thing that we have. But listen, okay, in a serious note, I don't know what the fuck Donald Trump is talking about, okay? I just thought this clip was kind of funny, all right? This is the type of person that Donald Trump was. I really feel like he has genuinely lost a couple steps, okay? Because he doesn't really seem to be able to string together coherent thoughts, which has never really been a strong suit of his, I guess you could say. But even in that, I mean, Jesus Christ, man, you were supposed to be talking about Christmas. You've off into, talking about how Muslims and Jewish people celebrate Christmas, and then you went into like George Washington and Thomas Jefferson, and I guess appealing to cancel culture, while also then saying that Christians should boycott companies that don't say Merry Christmas. It's all just kind of a jumble of whatever the fuck is going on in Donald Trump's head. But you see here from Newsmax doing absolutely real journalism, playing dramatic music, and talking to one of the former most powerful human beings on earth, who is basically bragging about how his main accomplishment was bringing back the ability for people to say Merry Christmas.